Should I save or should I leave my relationship? Some days I'm like, I'm out of here. I am so done with this. And then other days it's like, whoa, that was a sweet interaction we had. Maybe there's a chance of us making it. I'm Stuart Matola, I'm a men's relationship coach. And if you're asking yourself this save or leave question, I'm going to offer you a tool that's going to help you answer it. But first I want to speak to you about a client I was working with, Eric, who, because he was stuck in what I call plan B, he wasn't even willing to answer this question, even though it lived in him day in, day out. It was kind of like stuck in his brain. And so he would ask it, but he didn't have the courage to answer it. And that was precisely because he was stuck in that plan B, which was a place essentially of staying in his marriage to avoid his fears. And explicitly his fears of being the jerk who blows up the family, of the guy whose kids would hate him, and even the fear of losing his wife forever, which he found illogical because he was not happy with her or how she was showing up or how they were experiencing their marriage. So stuck in his fears, Eric denied himself access to what I call plan A, which is what he authentically wanted for himself, to advocate for his wants and needs. So he wouldn't answer the save or leave question because plan B kept him punting on it. And so he lived in fears. And I pointed out to him, Eric, that's a really weak place for you to operate, to experience your life day in and day out on that. And that was clear to him, to the point that he was actually losing a sense of who he was. And it was severely damaging his sense of self-esteem. And so making this distinction that he could access plan A, what he wanted and needed in his marriage, as a step unto itself, without fearing the future that was yet not happening. He had concocted a story that stopped him from actually even accessing what he wanted. So I coached Eric and I said, dude, play for now. If you're going to wait for things to magically line up in order to take action, in order to understand what you really want, you're going to stay super stuck. And he got that. And so part of what I offered Eric, which I offer as a coach, is the ability to help a guy see what he can't see currently where he's at. And to help a guy to go after what he really wants. To give himself the permission to actually access those wants and needs in the first place. And so in Eric's case, he started to explore that, yeah, he got it. He wanted to leave. And he started to explore patiently and responsibly separation with his wife. And what he found in the process is that as he got back to himself and regained a sense of who he was, in his case, he was pleasing, fixing, always answering to her, he actually got in touch with a more powerful place within himself. So he left plan B in that weak position to get to plan A and what he really wanted. And what he found was that put him in a position to be more clear with his wife about what was working and what wasn't. And even though they began a separation process, an individuation, which was so healthy for them after so many years of marriage, in his case, they actually began to grow closer together again. They started dating. There was a new spark that was emerging. And he was stunned when this was happening because he thought he was on the path to leaving his marriage. And I want to be clear, my job is not to tell a guy to save or leave. My job is to help him navigate what can often feel very complex and very nuanced, to go through the unique different steps. And I know all the stages really well. And I spoke about step one, just answering that question, so that in that process, it emerges what he really wants. And while initially he thought he wanted out, he found that she was responding to him differently. And one of the things she said to him is like, you were like a ghost before. I didn't know who you were. And now I have a sense of, solid man. And this took, this was over the course of several months in our working together. So seeing this other side of the journey that Eric could not see was one of the great ways in which I served him. And it helped him save a marriage which he thought he wanted out of. And there was a recreation process. But what got clear to him, and he didn't even know this was possible, is it was true. He wanted to end the marriage, but he wanted to end the old marriage. And the idea that there was a new marriage waiting for him with the same partner, that was just like, wow. And I continued to work with them and brought her on some of our calls so that they could develop what I call intentional relational practices to take care of their relationship, just like they'd take care of a garden or something that really mattered to them. So I want to give you this tool right here that I gave Eric that helped him connect to his plan A. And it starts off with a simple breathing exercise. So breathing from your head to your belly. So you're breathing down the front of your body and exhaling up the spine out through the top of the head. Inhaling down the front, exhaling up the back out through the top of the head. And we do this because it's important that you get out of your head and into your heart and your gut. You get deeper wisdom on that. So I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to pause here for a few seconds. I want you to take 3 breaths, head to belly, back out through the head. I'm going to breathe with you. So as I ask this question, I want you to imagine you're chewing it over with your breath. You're not going into your head. So take this in and just breathe through it. What's your why right now in your relationship? What's your why for staying in? And is there an us in your relationship? Is there an us that you're fighting for? So if you notice your why is those fears that you want to avoid, I want you to put those to the side for a moment. They'll be there waiting for you when you come back. And just go back in. What's your why in your relationship? What are you fighting for? Is there an us that you're fighting for? So see what comes up there. And if the tank's completely empty, you're definitely more likely on the side of wanting to leave your relationship. You're clear that your plan A may not have much juice with your partner. So I want to be clear, in a video like this, I can offer you a tool and a tip, but I would never advocate for you making a decision moving forward in your relationship or marriage just based on that alone. This is giving you an experience of being in touch with that plan A and giving you permission to explore that further. And that's a huge part of what I do in my coaching work with men. And what's so powerful about being in a coaching relationship with a man is we are in one-on-one powerful conversations that are strictly tailored for you, tailored for your situation, where you're at with your fears, where you're at with the risks of even answering the save or leave question, and how to navigate those steps and get past those fears and get access to that energy of the plan A. To get in touch with what you authentically want and need. So I want to invite you to understand that coaching is where the magic happens. That's where transformation happens. So I want to invite you to reach out to me, info@stuartmatola.com, and let's explore what's possible for you. I hope this was helpful. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day.